Hello, it's Easy G Cards, the master of cardboard risk management, and today's video is going to be a weekly market recap of Pokemon and some insights into sealed collectible investing. Okay, so first off, let's look at how singles in the Pokemon market are performing. So across the board, the singles market price rose by an average 2.8% last week. Now that is an overperformance by about one standard deviation since I've been tracking. Every set since Sword and Shield to Mega Evolutions has had singles prices rise on average, except Ascended Heroes, which dropped 0.7%. Now, why did Ascended drop? Well, first off, prices for Ascended singles are already extremely high. Did you know that the top 10 cards of Ascended are worth more than the top 10 cards of Evolving Skies? Yeah, it's that crazy right now. So a minus 0.7% drop, it's basically a rounding error. Now, the supply of Ascended Heroes is massive. Consumers are constantly opening the ETBs and booster bundles, and that's driving down prices. But all in all, Ascended is still early in its life cycle, so this is actually expected. Now, if you look at the other Mega Evolution sets, the singles value is rising by 2 to 3% for Mega Evo Base, Phantasmal, and even Perfect Order. This is a sign of the times we are in. It's a huge bull market. Sets that release, their singles are supposed to drop. Right now, nothing is dropping except Ascended, which has already massively inflated prices. Now, the biggest gain this week is Stellar Crown singles with a 8.6% gain. According to my model, Stellar Crown is the second most overvalued set of Scarlet and Violet behind Obsidian Flames, meaning the booster box is expensive versus the singles. So this 8.6% gain is not unexpected. Prices eventually have to even out one way or the other. Either the booster box price drops or the singles price rises or both. You can't have this discrepancy for a long time. This is actually why I speculated into Stellar Crown PSA 10 for the Bulbasaur and Darkspoon last year. Now, Stellar Crown singles rising is another sign that the bull market has a lot of runway for Pokemon. If we were in a bear market, booster box prices would drop instead of singles prices rising. In this market, PSA 10's chase cards for overvalued sets are top investment targets because booster boxes aren't dropping, so singles gotta go up. It is just too expensive to open the boxes and get a large amount of chase cards into the market. Now, let's look at the sealed Pokemon market and what is going on this week. The main takeaway this week is that it is ETB heaven. If you own ETBs, you are feeling pretty good right now. You can see in the top 10 gainers that it is all ETBs, and the numbers are staggering high with Destined Rivals leading the way at 24.8%. Now, I know there is a reprint coming for Destined ETBs, but the market is just ignoring that. But Destined is not the only ETB rising. Even Perfect Order ETBs rose 7%. And I think this is organic demand, not investors. ETBs have worse value versus booster boxes when you're comparing pack prices and are more expensive to ship and store. So most investor money is going to go toward booster boxes instead of ETBs because it's just a better deal. But the problem right now for consumers is that booster box prices aren't dropping, so they are priced out. So now it looks like demand is shifting down to the lower absolute dollar products like ETBs or premium collections because the average consumer can't afford $200 booster boxes. You can really see this with Perfect Order where booster box prices have dropped 0.7%, but ETBs are up 7.0%. So now instead of $99 booster boxes, consumers are buying $99 ETBs, and they are buying a lot of them. Now, this shift from booster boxes to ETBs is very important because usually when there is a bull market in a trading card game, the rise in prices sort of consumes itself, and there is a big crash afterwards because of this concept called demand destruction. Demand destruction is when prices get so high that consumers decide to spend money on something else, and as the name goes, demand is destroyed. And when enough consumers opt out, the market crashes. But we are seeing in real time that consumers are accepting a new baseline pricing for Pokemon and still spending their fun money on Pokemon, even though they are getting less per dollar. It's really crazy what the demand for the product is. I think the Pokemon company saw this coming, and that's why the last reprints have mainly been ETBs and premium collections, which are lower dollar items. These products are also higher margin and easily pushed out through their distribution network. So the company is trying to train customers to accept bull market prices. Only time will tell if this can work long term, but all the data points toward the bull market still raging on. Okay, you know the deal. Like, comment, and subscribe for more videos about cardboard rectangles.